Good morning, YouTube. Boy, I sound fully fucking rested. I am. Alright, so in the last video, I had a lot of fucking miles to run. Now, the window to drop was today at noon. Yep. Today at noon until Thursday at 11:59 at night. I dropped it off yesterday. I had 1 hour. I was close to where I was going to stay for the night. And I had 1 hour and 17 minutes on my clock. And I noticed that I was only 20 miles away from the drop. So I called and I asked. And somebody's there 24 hours. And they were like, since it's not a live unload, it's just a drop, you can go ahead and bring it. So your girl dropped that shit off. So the total miles on the trip was, now 200 of it was done, what, Friday morning? Whatever day it was before I reset. Because I drove from New Orleans Friday to Zachary, Louisiana, which was 2 hours and something. No, it was more than that. I don't fucking remember. It was a long time. But the total miles was 1,833. And I drove 1,620 of those miles in 3 days. I left Louisiana. I was in Lafayette, Louisiana. I left at 4 a.m. Saturday morning. And yesterday was Monday. Today is Tuesday. Monday, yesterday at what time did I get there? At 3 o'clock here at California time. I dropped it off. So, can you get miles? I think I've proven that time and time again. Communication is key. You have to let your people know that you're out here to work. If they tell you, oh, we don't have any loads right now, and it'll come through the Qualcomm, no load offerings. I don't accept that personally myself. Will it work for you all the time? I don't know. I only talk about what helps, what works for me. Now, as y'all could tell, if you've been with me for a while, I'm kind of a bitch. Not kind of. I am. I'm really nice, though. My words come out, I think, a lot harsher. You have to understand my sarcasm. It's my first language. English is my second. I think y'all have figured that out. We've all discussed I was raised by savages. So, I really just don't take shit from people. And I'm not saying that when they say that there's no load offerings that they're just talking shit. You have to make sure that all of the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. And what that means is, for example, whenever I fucking forget where I was, San Antonio, and I was doing the HEB thing, and the people kept telling me, oh, well, we don't have any loads. I knew for a fact that they had loads, because I'm out here every day, all day. I see what's going on. Most of the loads that are going around right now are all grocery store stuff. I can't tell you how many trailers of toilet paper I've driven across this country since I've come back. Lots. Yesterday, toilet paper. Toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper. So, the freight is there. And that's why I was so frustrated. And even when I get frustrated, you know, I let them know, hey, I know it's not your fault, but something is wrong. But again, it was on a Sunday. Something was wrong. The way I drive was coded wrong. And it wasn't changed, so we fixed that. Life is great, and now I'm still rolling. So for this week, I have 551 miles that I started off the bat, right off the bat Thursday morning. I dropped off at 7:30. 551 miles straight out the gate. For those of you that don't know, we turn all of our load stuff in. It has to be in Wednesday night at midnight, which I say Thursday morning because that is actually Thursday morning. But however you look at it. Wednesday at midnight, Thursday at midnight, however you look at it. Wednesday night or Thursday morning, that's when you turn in your stuff to get paid on Friday. So right out the gate Thursday morning, that's a fresh start. I already have 551 miles. And then I got the 1833, finished that yesterday. Today's Tuesday. Now, California is really iffy right now, and the reason I'm going to say that is because there are some things. Usually when I get to California, Oregon snatches me up right away, which I love, because Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, all this whole West Coast, I actually enjoy driving. A lot of people don't like coming this way. You can get stuck out here for a while, which is fine with me. I'm writing books, living my best life. I go home when I want to. It takes me a while to get there, but the problem right now is we're not supposed to be political, so I don't want to be political. I'm just going to state some facts. Go watch the news and look up Portland, Oregon. That's a good way to get around it. So there is shit going down in Portland. Now, would Swift or any trucking company ever send an 18-wheeler in the downtown area where a lot of this stuff is going on? No, we don't go downtown. The streets aren't made for us, so that's straight truck business. For those of you who don't know, straight trucks, just think U-Hauls. So we would never go that way. But because of the uncertainties of what is going on over there, which I think it's random as fuck that it's in Oregon. That's just me. But it is. So it prevents me from getting to the other places that I love to go. Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado. Now, so today my load is only going to be 397 miles, which is fine. I have plenty of miles. I'm not worried about it. And then my load for tomorrow is right at 557. So I'm going to just go over 3,000 miles this week, which is wonderful. Because the load that I dropped yesterday actually wasn't even supposed to be delivered until Thursday. So that's the one that I originally declined. I was like, if I take this load, my check is going to say 0 come next Friday, because I got the load. I accepted it on a Thursday. And they didn't want it to be delivered until this Thursday. I said, yeah, no, not doing that. So we got to figure it out. It works out. I just realized I was going through YouTube. For whatever reason, I need to update my phone or something. The notifications were turned off. So I just went through the past hour and answered, I think, all of the questions, at least going back 7 videos. I was making breakfast and doing stuff like that. One lady asked how I clean my blender when I make my shakes and stuff, and if I would do a video on keto and dieting and how I continue to lose weight. I answered your question about the blender thing. I commented. My blender cup I take into the truck stops because it gets pretty sticky because of the stuff that I put in it. It almost becomes concrete and you have to like shovel it off. So I take it into the truck stop wherever I stop next, and they have a little sink that's for them to use, but they don't mind us using it. Now, if I walked in there with my pots and pans and my fucking oven, they'd run me the fuck out. But if you go in there with a cup, they usually don't mind too much. So that is how I clean the blender cup. I don't take the blender part, the screw part that goes into the cup. I have a jug of water. I keep them in my side box. Whoa, I dropped y'all. Hello? Hold up. Boom. Y'all tell, I don't give a fuck. I don't have tripods. I don't have any of that shit. Don't care for it either. I don't have time for all that. People that have time for that with the drones and tripods and all the... I don't know how much driving you're doing when you got all that to do. Just saying. Good for you though. I learned a lot from a lot of those people that do those videos. Me personally, I don't have that kind of time in my life. I hold my phone, it works or it doesn't. If I drop it, oh fucking well, I don't know how to edit shit. I'm good at a lot of things. Technology, I get by. Editing videos, not my thing. Anyways, to answer your question, because I do get asked that question a lot, If you scroll from the bottom of my videos where I was back in school last year, and you scroll till now, you can see my face just gets smaller and smaller. This area, my crew necks are starting to look like that guy on the commercial where he's on a date and he says, "Oh, you look really nice." And she's like, "You look really comfortable." I'm that bitch, the not fully washed, whatever that commercial is. This shirt I just put on this morning, just got it out of the dryer, and yeah, this is how all of my clothes look now, which is fine because I really don't care for crew cuts. I'm a V-neck person. I like to breathe. But I do get asked often about how I keep up with, I don't call it dieting. It's a lifestyle. I don't like the word diet. Nobody should like the word diet. It puts restrictions on people. I am not 100% keto, and I will tell you why. As you know, I'm a nurse when I'm not trucking. And while I was back in medicine, I did do some lab work. I did some lab work whenever I went to visit the doctor while I was driving last summer. And then when I came back, I had been keto for almost a complete year at that point. Did my labs. Didn't really like what I was seeing, to be perfectly honest. I won't get into specifics, but there were some things that definitely needed to change. So I started counting macros. I will never do a video on counting macros because I like to keep this channel specifically for trucking. That's the first thing. This is really for trucking educational purposes, rants, shit that you're going to deal with if you're thinking about coming out here. You'll see a lot of trucking YouTubers that'll say, "Oh my God, it's wonderful. You're going to become a millionaire. You're going to do this. You're going to do that." And then you get out here and the first day you go solo, you're like, "Fuck my life. What did I do? Where's the nearest bridge? Is it tall enough for me to jump off and die?" So I decided to create a channel where I would bring y'all real life shit. Like, it's not glorious. There's actually nothing glorious other than if you're very patriotic as I am. I'm very proud to be American, and I am that bitch that hears the national anthem and actually starts crying. That's how patriotic I am. This is by far the most nostalgic job I have ever been a part of. And when you are coming down a cascade of mountains and you are driving a truck and you're coming around the curve, no guardrails, you could die in a second, and you're looking out your mirror and you see that trailer and you look down below and then you see the trains going around the mountain as well, and you see all the trucks going by, and if there's a boat nearby or a port and an airplane, it just kind of puts everything into perspective. The economy, supply and demand. I'm a fucking nerd, y'all. I tell you, those moments right there make me the most proud of what I do. And I know it sounds cheesy and corny as fuck, but I am a very sentimental person. I know I don't look like, I don't come across that way, but I am. I tell you, that is... Hello? Truck? Sorry. That to me, the first time that ever happened to me, when I saw all of it come together, we get people the shit that they need. We make everything, the economy, go round. If truckers went on strike, which my dad was a part of in the 80s, truckers did go on strike. Nothing was at the store. Like, no food, no water, no clothes, no toys, no cars, nothing. Everything that we can purchase with our money gets to us by planes, trains, and trucks, and boats. So, when you talk about coming to trucking to make a shitload of money, I don't like for you to think that you're gonna come out here and get really rich really quick, because that's not true. And people all across YouTube. They will tell you, oh, you can make money, you can do this, you can do that, and fuck you. That's not true. Is it possible over time to build your stamina and get to where you can drive 3,000 miles a week? Yes. But let me make something perfectly clear. At least with Swift, the 3 weeks that you are at the academy, 0 pay. Not a zilch, not 1 red cent. So you have to make sure that your shit is in line at the house for your finances, your family, your food, shelter. All that stuff needs to be in order, and be prepared for you not to have an income for those 3 weeks. That's to start. Then right now, everybody has a shortage on mentors. A lot of people are not trucking right now. And some people, being a mentor is hard. I don't speak from experience. I speak as a mentor. I speak from experience for being with mentors. Being a mentor is hard. You're sharing your home. This is your home with another person. And then if that person goes and says, oh, well, you know, this person did that, this person did that. It can go one of 2 ways. But sometimes, especially right now during the pandemic, you could be waiting a week, if not longer, for your mentor. So again, you're not getting paid. And then when you get on the mentor's truck, there's a base pay of $500 a week. Now, I finished with 2 mentors. I finished my hours. I didn't do the whole 200 hours. I didn't need to. And I finished in 2.5 weeks. No problem. I didn't make $500 a week, but I am an exception. The majority of people spend my son and I talked to a guy who said he was on the mentor's truck for 8 weeks. I said, honey, what was you doing? But he's new. He needed time. He needed to build stamina. He was, you know, he had some stuff going on. So you don't know how long it's going to take you to be with your mentor. You can't count on that 200 hours, because until you get behind this wheel and until you deal with Crazy Karen and her husband, and there's thousands of them around this country, and you actually start to feel comfortable, you won't be able to drive 11 hours right out the gate. So when you come into the trucking industry, for the first, I would say, bank on not making any money for at least the first month to 2 months. Not any money that's going to make a real difference if this is what your life is depending on. Those are the facts. I haven't seen one YouTuber that talks about trucking. Now, granted, I don't have a lot of time on my hands right now, being an author and a truck driver. Since I've come back, I don't watch anybody on YouTube. I barely have time to make these videos. The only reason I have time now is because I don't have to be anywhere until 11 o'clock, and I'm in California right now, and it's only 7:40. So, I have never, though, heard one truck driver tell you, you're going to come out here, and you're going to struggle, and you got to do this, that. Nobody tells the actual truth. That's the truth. If you're coming out here because you're living check to check, and this is a last-ditch effort for you to change your life, do what you got to do to get through it, because it can change your life. But it is going to take time. It definitely is going to take time. Now, again, I didn't struggle with the money issue because I have a partner that works, been with the union forever, and this was just something that I wanted to do for personal reasons. If my life had depended on this, and my children's life and livelihood depended on this, yeah, I wouldn't have done this, because my kids would have been homeless and had no food and no clothes. So then you have to spend money on food and stuff whenever you go to the school. It's a lot. So if that's the best way I can put it, if this is your last ditch effort to make a change, that can happen, but it's not going to happen right out the gate. It's just not. So It takes money to make money. If you don't, so when I first went solo, I'm not going to lie, I invested probably close to $1,000 worth of stuff that I put in my truck. I knew that was going to happen after being on my first mentor's truck. Now, my second mentor, I asked him before I even went to meet him, hey, do you happen to have a cooler or a fridge? He didn't. He had an older truck, but he actually went and bought a cooler because I do have to eat something every 2 hours, at least every 4 hours now, because now in October, it'll be 2 years since I've had my bariatric surgery. So now I can go longer without eating, and I can eat bigger portions. So he actually went and bought a cooler. It was still in the box when I got on his truck, and I was like, oh my God, you did not have to do this. Like, I could have bought like a little handheld one. Anyways, when you get on your own truck, I already knew what I was going to need to make my life easier. So you're either going to spend money buying groceries and putting healthy food in your body, or you're going to spend 4 times as much eating trashy food that's going to give you severe diarrhea. I don't know where they get these weenies or whatever the fuck it is, these tornado things, taquito things. I haven't met one person that's eaten them that hasn't had explosive fucking diarrhea. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I know I come across real goofy, but I'm being serious. I warned my son, don't eat the truck stop food. Don't do it. He did it. He was like, what is the difference? I said, I don't fucking know, but I don't eat things that have all this preservative. I don't eat frozen foods, anything like that. I don't do that. Haven't done it in years. So it takes money to make money. When you come out here and you go solo, you're going to spend money. You spend your own money scaling your loads. It's $12 if you get it right the first time. And learning, I can look at my trailer now and know exactly where the tandems need to go. And I get it right 90% of the time. If it's a super fucking heavy load, it gets a little hard to gauge, but the trailer bends. You can see, and if I'm the one that closes the doors, I pay attention to where the freight is, so I know where most of the weight is, and then I eyeball the trailer as I'm sliding the tandems. I eyeball the trailer, and I see where the dip is, and it lets me know, hey, you need to push it more forward or you need to push it more back. 9 times out of 10, I got that shit right in the middle. My son thought I was lying. He got to witness it all. I get it straight down the middle. Now, if you don't get it right the first time, and you got to adjust it, which is fine, then it's $2.50 every time. $2.50. You got to go pay that. Now, Swift does reimburse you. You upload that stuff with your bills for that load, and they reimburse you on your check. Washing your truck, $40. Do you have to wash your truck all the time? I mean, no. Swift has a thing right here that says you are responsible for the safety, operation, and cleanliness of your vehicle. It's right here on the door. I wash my truck once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending on where I'm at. Because bugs are worse in some areas than others. Some places are more rainy than others. And I don't want to wash my truck because it's fucking white. I wanted my blue truck back. Whatever. And you go through a bunch of rainy shit, then your truck looks like ass. And you just wasted $40. Again, you can upload that. Swift reimburses you. If you're a female, paying for parking will come in handy, especially right now during the pandemic and with the other stuff going on. You do not ever want to park along the back fence. People say back fence. Don't park on the back fence. There is an actual back part of a truck stop. Most of them, the bigger ones that you would stay at, you don't want to go back there. There's a lot of hoopla, nonsense, illegal activities go on back there. Those are the super truckers And the fucking non-company driving truckers, they just back there drinking, picking up chicks, doing whatever people do to go bump in the night. That's what goes on in that back lot. As a female, you do not want to park anywhere where you're putting yourself in danger. As a Swift driver, if your shit says Swift on it, you don't want to park back there, because I have woken up to a whole fucking graffiti trailer. I'm running around pimping out somebody's gang. I don't know who the fuck it was. Couldn't read it. I don't read gibberish. But you pay for your parking. You're up close. Now, granted, when the shit broke out in California the last time I was here with my son and the 2 people got shot, we couldn't park any closer. We were the first fucking people. You stepped out of the store. The fuel lane was here. Literally, we were the first truck. But unfortunately, that's where the fight broke out. So, but that's the only time that's ever happened. I have to say, between last summer and this summer, major fucking difference out here on the road as far as when the sun goes down. So, you pay for your parking. That can be anywhere from 15 to, if you're in Nevada, it can go all the way up to 20 bucks. Some places in Nevada, especially if you're in the Vegas, Reno area, TAs, you have to pay to park, like, to even park your truck. You got to go through a gate. They don't let you park there for free at all. So, you learn all of this shit while you're on the road with your mentor, depending on where your mentor takes you. Then you get out here on your own and you find out that your mentor only teaches you this much of what you actually are going to go through. And everything that can go wrong will go wrong in your first week of being solo. You will be kicking yourself in the ass. I don't remember how much. I only cried once. I'm not a person that cries a lot. But I called my husband. I called my terminal. I was just cussing out birds, squirrels, Karen, and Karen wasn't even a thing last year. Like, I was really like, what the fuck am I doing out here? Stupid shit. Nobody ever talked about. Never happened on my mentor's trucks. Never happened. Nobody told me anything about this at school. Just stupid, stupid stuff. You learn. Trust me, never made those mistakes again. But these are the type of stressors that you're going to deal with. These are the kind of expenses that you're going to deal with. I personally spend probably $100 a week out here, and that's on a good week. And I don't, I'm at the Fontana terminal. I've never been here before. But the place that I dropped off was only 3 miles up the road. And of course I was down to minutes, as I usually am. So I came here. It's fine. But there's a cafeteria in there with a nice lady cooking up stuff. The only place that I spend money is in Jurupa Valley Terminal. There's a old Hispanic couple that makes tacos. They're the best. If you're there, you gotta fucking get them. You just have to. You have to support the local people. 1. 2, they got some good damn food. That's really the only exception. So, I am a bare minimal chick. Almost all of the shit that I have here, with the exception of the totes, because each truck has different storage capabilities, with the exception of the totes and the food, all of the other stuff that I have on the truck, I had on my previous truck. Again, I invested close to $1,000 to make the truck the home that I needed it to be when I wasn't working. So you have to think about all of these things. My second mentor, he didn't have anything but that cooler, and I mean, he didn't even really use it. I used it. But he chose to spend his money on the food. Subway most of the time. He didn't eat bad. He ate mostly Subway or chicken. You're going to spend money. You have to survive. You live out here. So when I'm going back to dieting. I know I'm all over the place as usual. I don't want to talk about dieting because it's too controversial. I do have a medical degree. I actually, when I was at the clinic, I actually taught the dietary classes there. I do have the credentials to teach people how to lose weight, but there's not a cookie cutter recipe that fits all people. Everything is different for everybody, and I do not like giving medical advice without seeing your fucking labs. I need recent labs, because sometimes it comes down to your body just being allergic to something that you're eating. My body doesn't like pork. Now, do I stop eating bacon? Fuck no, I eat a lot of bacon. Not like shitloads, but I love bacon. But the other kinds of pork, I'll eat like very lean cutlets. Keto doesn't mean eat a bunch of fat. So what I do personally, you can look up keto, of course, but I do carb cycling. That's really where I started seeing the bigger difference. Carb cycling and counting macros and intermittent fasting. My journey is almost, in October, it'll be 2 years. Now, I didn't get to be 400 pounds because I had a problem eating food. I've had cancer twice. I have started off with lupus, and then it went to fibromyalgia, and then it went to rheumatoid arthritis, and then it went to 23 medications, bed rest, and hospital visits every other fucking week. So I had become immobile, and then I was on 23 medications, most of which were some kind of steroids, because my body, autoimmune disorders make your body inflame. Steroids are supposed to make it go down. Then my body started rejecting the steroids, and then before you know it, in a matter of 6 years, I was up to 400 pounds. I was dying. So surgery for autoimmune people with autoimmune disorders is very tricky, because if your body goes into shock and starts inflaming when you're when you go into surgery, you can die. My bariatric surgery, I had the sleeve done, should have taken 15 minutes. I was in there for hours because my body did not want to be having what was doing it, and I started inflaming. Blood transfusion was a whole thing. So bariatric surgery, at the best, it'll help you lose 100 pounds really fast. Is it easy? No. And for anybody who thinks that bariatric surgery is the easy way out, go fucking eat a bag of dicks, because it is not easy by any fucking means. It's not. And that is really where you have to know that any kind of weight loss starts here. It starts here. You have to change the way that you look at food. You have to know how that food is going, how your body is going to receive that food, how your body is going to process it, if it even will process it. So, will I do a video on weight loss? No. Because what works for some people will not work for others, and I don't want that kind of responsibility. I like my license. I like being able to bounce around between careers. And again, it's just not that simple. So if you want to know what I do, you can look up keto, carb cycling, intermittent fasting, and macros. Macros across the board, for the most part, 95% sure. If you learn how to count your own macros for your body type, you'll be successful. At least a little. You'll start burning fat, your muscles will tone, all that stuff. Macro, M-A-C-R-O, just like macros in this little machine. Macros, count your macros. You look it up, it'll tell you how to get your TDEE, which is your total daily expendable. I forget what the other E stands for. Anyways, it's basically your calorie deficit that you're allowed a day. Start there. Do not restrict yourself from having certain food groups. That's the only other thing I'll say about it. So, I spend on average about $100 a week on groceries, hygiene stuff, shit like that. So already out of my check, $100 comes out for living expenses. Stuff that I buy, it's just normal shit that I showed you in the video. Meats, cheeses, vegetables. And the vegetables, I buy the steamed bags because I can toss them in my freezer or my cooler, either way. And one bag, it takes me 3 days to fucking eat the whole bag because I have a small stomach. I don't really keep fruit here. I don't eat a lot of fruit because it has too much sugar. So, you know, meat, when you start talking about the cuts of meat that I buy, stuff like that's why it gets expensive. So it's a fully loaded question. Crazy long answer. As you can see, it varies. But the other question was about how much money do you make? Will you show your check? We get those. All YouTube truckers get that question all the time. Do I need to show you my check stubs? No, I don't need to do anything but drive this fucking truck. Will I show you my check stubs? No. This is the way I put it. If it wasn't worth it, I wouldn't be out here. Even though I love being out here, nobody does anything for nothing. If it wasn't worth it, I wouldn't be here. And as you saw in San Antonio, I don't sit. It's not something I am gonna do. So, I hope that answers all of the questions that I didn't get around to answering. Probably answered some questions that you probably already had. For the ones that are in school, keep it up. I know that you're gonna be like, I can't believe I listened to these motherfuckers on YouTube. I know it. I've been there. Oh, I gave Corsicana hell. Sometimes I feel like stopping in there and then just seeing like them run me off. I gave them hell. I gave everybody hell. Not on purpose. I just don't like when people disregard other people because of whatever the fuck they got going on. When you show up to any job, you leave your bullshit in your fucking car at your house. That's another thing. I have a friend, very good friend, who wants to come out here. But she's got issues at home and kid stuff and not knowing who's going to take care of the kids on this day or that day. I said, don't do it. You cannot worry about home out here. The only thing that you can worry about for the 11 hours a day that you're behind this wheel is this. You can't be worrying about all this other stuff. It's a distraction. So, know all of that. Like, you really got to get your shit in line at home before you venture out here to do this. That's all I can say about it. Like, it's not glamorous. Truck stops smell like fucking piss everywhere. You open the door and it's just like, pfft. I kind of wish I was wearing my mask my whole fucking life. It would have saved me some nose hairs. It's fucking disgusting out here. People shit under their trailers. I've seen it at terminals. Bitch, the fucking place got plenty of bathrooms. Why are you shitting under your trailer, you fucking nasty ass motherfucker? Like, the stuff that you see and go through out here, sometimes you're just like... And then truck drivers get mad because when we're in the truck stops, normal civilian people, four-wheel driving people, come in and they see us and they like grab their children. And I'm like, bitch, you came to a place that was specifically designed for truck drivers. What made you think that we weren't going to be here? But they honestly treat us like shit. Like, my husband works in the union. He builds hospitals. Very essential job. He started out as a pipe fitter. Now he's a journeyman, foreman. Great guy. Does amazing work. Building hospitals. But because he gets a little dirty sometimes, you know, the way that they treat the guys out there on the job sites, like the doctors and the other people, you know, the heads of the hospital who don't know actual shit about medicine. You know, they make them use these porta potties that are like blocks and blocks away. They're not allowed to use certain elevators, all this stuff. And then if you happen to cross paths with them, you know, just walking on the sidewalk, they like run from you like you have coronavirus. My husband makes a lot of fucking money doing what he's doing. And building hospitals, that's a fucking damn good job. People treat you like shit. Out here in the trucking world, same thing. They treat you like shit. You're scum. You are scum. You are the pile of shit under the trailer parked 3 things down from you. So, is it glamorous? No. Do you get to see really cool shit? Absolutely. I never get tired of the West Coast. I never get tired of Mountain. I don't get tired of any of this shit. I don't. You really have to put your mind behind what is really going to go on out here. I cannot stress that enough. Is it rewarding? It depends on what you find rewarding. To me, if you ask me personally, absolutely. That's why I came back. I'm a fucking nurse. Like an actual RN nurse. And then I was working in aesthetics and cosmetics, which was fucking amazing. Because I don't like politics and bureaucracy that you have to deal with in medicine. So I didn't go back to be medicine nursey this time. I went back to do cool shit. But every time I got on the highway and saw a truck, my heart was just melting. I missed it. So I came back. Some other people may not see it that way. Trucking either makes or breaks you. That is a fact. And unfortunately, it's one of those things that you're not going to know until you do it. So don't let people's opinions, people's perspectives, don't let that be your judging factor on whether or not you're going to do this. Do your own research. You could take all of our advice, and it's advice. Put a pin in it. Go do your own research. But I am going to tell you the truth all the time. It's not glamorous. You're not going to make a lot of money. You're actually going to spend a lot of money to come out here. You don't start making money right off the bat. I did, but I was set up a certain way. So, when I did show my checks, and I have shown my stubs that come on the little thing way back. Straight out the gate, I was making over $1,000 a week. That's unheard of. With my second mentor, I was making $800 a week. It's unheard of. I am an exception to the rule. I don't know why. It just happened that way. I say that it was meant to be. That is not going to happen all the time. So, I try to make sure, even in the description, I put results may vary, and they do. I've had people that have joined, and then they come and they get out there and they just have a shitty terminal and shitty leaders, and you know, I walk them through everything that I would do if I was in that situation. Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't, and they're not there. I'm the only person from my graduating class that's still actually even driving trucks. Not just with Swift, but like driving actual trucks. The people all got their CDLs and went and did other shit. It's a good thing to have. You can use it whenever you want to. But I'm the only person that stuck around. I left, I came back. I like it. I like it a lot. So, that should answer all your questions. Probably answered questions, like I said, that you didn't even know that you needed answered. And about the dieting thing, it's not going to happen, sorry. If you want to talk to me one-on-one about what may work for you, you need to have lab work from a reputable place, preferably. Quest, LabCorp, CLC, Path Group. There's a whole shitload of them. But I will never help anybody dietary-wise without looking at your labs, because I have to know what I'm working with. And you telling me, you don't even know what you're working with. So I need to see numbers. I need to see what's actually going on before I ever do that. And right now, I just don't have time for that. I don't like it. Weight loss journeys, that's why they have coaches, and that's why they have, you know, accountability coaches, trainers, nutritionists, all of those, dietitians, all of that. That's just not my, it's not my gig. And again, I've never had a problem with food. I've always eaten really healthy. I do eat a lot cleaner now. But I've never been a big going out to eat fast food, that kind of shit. It's trash. I would never just constantly eat trash. Why would you do that? That's another thing. I don't understand people's mentality behind stopping at every, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, this and that. Do I restrict my kids from having it? No, they're kids. They can make their own decisions when they get older. I do educate them, and they have their own money and their own debit cards, and they have their rights to vote where they want to give their money to, and that's fine. But I do educate them. I give them the tools that they need to make their own decisions. I don't like trying to tell adults that the decisions that they're making are stupid and, you know, eating fucking cheeseburgers every day, you may as well get a gun and shoot yourself. I'm that kind of person. If I was to coach people, that is what I would tell you. If you want to eat cheeseburgers and french fries every day, go down to the local wherever you buy guns, go get a gun and just put a bullet in your head. You're doing the same thing. So I'm never going to be a good weight loss coach. I'm too forward for that. I don't have a filter, and I don't understand the mentality of people that just eat trash. It's a very controversial subject for me. When I don't understand the mentality of something, I put it in the ignorance category, because you can't say that you're uneducated or there's not enough information, because we're in a land of technology and you have access to all of the information. So I believe that weight loss starts right here, and that's your choice, not mine. So hope I didn't offend anybody. If I did, I'd like to say I'm sorry, but I'm not. That's just me being me. I'm gonna go prepare to get this. I gotta go pick up a trailer somewhere. This terminal, it's not shaped like the other one. Most of the terminals that you'll come across with Swift, they're cookie cutter. Copy and paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. This one is not. Way more bobtails here than I've ever seen at another terminal. But there's no such thing as empty trailers here. They got students all over the place. So I'm actually going to Black & Decker to pick up my trailer. Go do my little load today. Shut down. Yesterday I made, what did I make? Bacon wrapped tenderloin. Man, y'all gotta follow my Instagram. Y'all ask me what I cook all the time. It's on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description box on my channel, on this channel. Yeah, that's it. So that's my weekly check-in. If something pops off or I happen to get sent to Oregon, which I'm praying for, get these motherfuckers off the road so the rest of us can get to living, that would be great. If you're in the Oregon or Washington area, let me know what's going on up there freight-wise. I don't give a shit about the bullshit that's going on. I don't care. Another subject, another topic, and quite frankly, I'm not allowed to talk about it. So, aside from the shit going on downtown, what's freight looking like up there? Are y'all able to maneuver? I know the people were on the freeways the other day. Like, what's going on? I want to know, because I'm here, I'm ready to run, and I want to go north. I want to know what's going on. So, check y'all out later. I love y'all. Stay safe. Stay safe, and keep reminding your four-wheeled friends about trucks. Seriously, spread the word. Spread the word. Don't cut us off. Especially if we're coming down a mountain. Somebody did it yesterday. I was coming down a mountain. My camera went haywire. I had to slam on the brakes so hard. I was like, oh, you motherfucking stupid ass bitch. Again, it's a mental thing. What makes you think that you could do this? What goes through your mind? Do you want to die? There's a cliff right there. Go that way. Don't come in front of me. Oh, it's annoying. It is annoying. One of 1,000 stressors that you'll deal with as a truck driver. But again, it's not for everybody. It's not. So think about all the stuff. Hopefully you took some notes. If you didn't, then you got to listen to my ass talk all over again. So sorry. But yeah, think about all of those things. Make sure you got your shit in order. Get all your ducks in a row. And, then come out here and see if it's for you. That's all I can tell you. I love you all. Peace out.